You know, I used to believe that family meant everything, that blood was thicker than anything. Let me tell you a story about how I learned that sometimes. The deepest cuts come from the people closest to you. My name is Jake Mitchell, and for as long as I can remember, I was the invisible son. While my cousin Dylan was getting praised for his report cards, I was in the garage with my dad, learning how to rebuild engines. While he was winning student council elections, I was restoring my first car, a beat-up '67 Mustang that everyone said was beyond repair. But that was okay with me. I had Harbor Auto, the shop Dylan and I started together. I handled the cars, he handled the books. We were a team, or so I thought. It was a Thursday when Dylan came to me with these big plans. Investors, he said. Expansion. He had papers for me to sign. Trust me, cousin, he told me. And I did. I signed every page he put in front of me. I'll never forget that Monday morning. Showing up to work and finding the locks changed, a sold sign on the door I'd painted myself. The new owner handed me a termination letter. My own cousin had sold our shop, our dream, right out from under me. But that was just the beginning. When I went to my family, they'd already heard Dylan's version, that I'd been irresponsible, that the business was failing, that he'd saved what he could. My own aunt and uncle looked me in the eye and told me I should be thanking him. Have you ever had your entire world collapse in 1 week? I lost my business, my reputation, my family. I took a job at a quick lube chain, changing oil for minimum wage. Customers who knew me from Harbor Auto would ask what happened, and I couldn't even answer them. But here's where the story changes. There was this food truck owner, Maya. Her truck broke down outside the shop one day. She looked at me and said, "That's not the Jake Mitchell I remember." And she offered me space in her brother's garage. No strings attached, just belief. So I started Second Chance Auto in a dusty, cramped space with borrowed tools. Just me, my hands, and my word. And slowly, people started coming back. They knew I did honest work. My waiting list grew to 3 weeks. Then came the truth. One of my old customers, Mr. Henderson, found documents. Dylan hadn't just stolen my business, he'd sold my classic Mustang, the one I'd spent 2 years restoring, and my custom suspension designs, he'd patented them under his name. It wasn't just about money anymore. He'd stolen my work, my creations, my legacy. But something interesting happened while I was building my new business. Dylan's premium garage started failing. Customers realized he was all talk, no skill. And my family. They started seeing the truth. My uncle showed up at my garage one day, apologized, said Dylan's business had collapsed, that the bank found fraud. He said they were wrong about me, and you know what? Sorry doesn't rebuild what was broken. It doesn't erase those months of shame and isolation. Then came the day I never expected. Dylan showed up at my door, broke, ashamed. He'd lost everything, his business, his fancy car, even his family's respect. He stood there in my garage, the one I built from nothing, and asked for forgiveness. I looked at him and I saw myself standing there months earlier, broken, lost. And I made a decision that surprised even me. I offered him a job, changing tires, minimum wage, no partnership, no fancy title, just a chance. Some people ask me why. Why help the man who destroyed my life? And here's what I've learned. Everyone deserves a second chance. Not because they deserve it, but because we all deserve to become better people. That betrayal taught me more about myself than any success ever could. It taught me that my worth wasn't in my business, or my family's approval, or even my designs. My worth was in here, touch heart, and in never compromising who I am. The shop is called Second Chance Auto for a reason, and not just for the cars we fix.